Hello.
Psst, hey.
Is
you
everything
were
working?
you were ranting about your camera right before we went live,
Yes.
and you stopped, but also I do enjoy a good rant.
My main thing was trying to use a professional camera as a webcam is it's painful. I mean, it.
Yes.
Thank goodness for this gentleman who is a professional photographer who has a YouTube video about how to turn the Sony SV1 or ZV1
Uh-huh.
into a webcam because there is an
Mhm.
infinite amount of options. And yeah,
Yes.
I think that where I ended was I haven't been so close to rage quitting since playing Call of Duty in college. Like that's pretty much that's how close I got. But that was
that
pretty much my rant. Let's
Oh,
see.
I just realized with the way your microphone is set up right now, and then
Yeah.
your shirt is the way it is. For a second, I thought you had like a black tie, like an office tie, because the little
Oh,
pattern here.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a waffle shirt. It's weird how the camera picks it up. It's kind of a I don't know. Do you see that shimmering?
I don't. Oh, is it like a texture thing?
Yeah, it's just like a waffle pattern, like knitted.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
is nice. I can't quite tell, but I know what it is, and that is quite nice. Yeah.
it's brand new. Brand new. Just got it yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Okay, let's see here. So for last week, just to recap, we left off trying to get the Wasm Cloud deployed to an AKS cluster. Ran
Hmm.
into some issues, file issue, got some comments. So we're going to rebuild the environment, try to work through the comments. Supposedly,
Yep.
we can kind of roll past that error, but I'm pretty sure our port forwarder didn't work. So we'll just look at the comments of that issue and then kind of go from there. I think we've got a shorter stream today, probably about 40
Yep.
minutes for our next call. But
That's
I mean,
right.
we'll just hit the ground running and try to figure it out.
Yep.
So, and I'm on a new machine again, so I might need multiple tools. You might have to cargo component help me
That's okay. You're
yet
back
again.
on Windows, Linux,
Windows, yeah, Windows
Windows.
for now
Okay.
on my beefy Lenovo tower.
Oh, that's nice.
Let's see here. I think I shared this with you, but the primary reason is the abundance of USB ports is what's drawn me back. I just had a lot of issues with my docking station.
That makes sense.
So here we are. I filed it, tried to be as inclusive as I could with logs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They closed it because there's a similar one, but
Oh.
essentially, here is the font okay?
Yeah, that
What
is
happened?
better, but yes.
Magnifying glass.
Oh wow.
Okay, so you guys forgive me because I'm used
Looks
to
good.
Mac keyboard shortcuts already, and so that is tripping me up. But
I guess both you and I with our keyboard adventures.
it makes for an interesting presentation.
Look, we are professional software people working at a big professional company. We can't type for shit. It doesn't.
Typing doesn't matter.
Yep.
Oh, that
Okay.
reminds me. I have very terribly was it monkey? Yeah, monkey type. I've been neglecting
Oh,
my
your monkeys.
my duties.
Ah,
So get up time signed in. Well, I want to show everybody my record.
okay. Welcome to a stream, everyone. Today we're going to do infrastructure. Before we do infrastructure, we must talk about keyboards. Look at my keyboard stats.
I thought this would be easier.
No,
This is
no,
my
no, it's fine. It's
username.
fine.
I am not a robot, and I guess monkey type's having issues. Username not available. Well, I don't want to
Oh,
create
you're
a new
trying to
one.
sign up.
Well, I'm clicking log in, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to click sign in and then
I
whatever?
don't know.
I tried to sign in with GitHub. There we go. I guess I'm signed up with email. Look at this.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yes. Proud of
Wait,
this.
10, but that's 10 words.
Yes.
What's
Yep.
your 60? Your 60 second is 110. Okay.
Yep. And 15 is 138. So the problem here
Nice.
is endurance.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, back to infrastructure. Side quest complete.
I've got I think I've got like 42 on my 60
Hey, that's
seconds
pretty
now.
good. That's pretty
I
good.
know. I
I saw
know.
someone on Twitter X that switched to the Kinesis, like
Uh-huh.
the very
Yeah.
standard weird keyboard. And they went from like 180 to 8. words per minute. So here,
That's funny.
the issue that we're running into, kind of the config that we had. We're into this. I named it the title. Yeah, config change receiver error. So I put that in here, and then Brooks, just to shorten it, we what did he say? But seeing the error without any ill effect, but I'm looking into it. You can proceed with your deployment just fine. I don't know if that's true for us. Interesting. So this could give us some alternatives if we could use the wash command to start. I don't know what the link one does, but he does see it in the WADM. So maybe we could host it without WADM and see if it's that particular issue. So we could take the same deployment potentially and maybe deploy it to a Kime cluster locally, or even just run the component as it was built with the wash commands and just see what happens.
Yeah, let's maybe try the kind cluster. By the way, Roke in chat is asking what we're up to. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get WASM Cloud working. Because we'd like to get it working on AKS. We thought we had it working on AKS. We did not. So now we're in the process of debugging that. The reason why we do that is because we're interested in running WebAssembly component workloads. So yeah, that's the journey. That's been the journey for the last several months, sort of. Like
yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
Not necessarily on WASM Cloud. That's been the last 3 or 4.
Oh yeah.
There's a really good one. So if you are interested in learning more about WASM Cloud, more of a deep dive type, I think it was three live streams ago now, or 2, that Bailey joined us. Let me just grab a link for that.
2.
So
2 was last week ago? Monday. Yeah.
So let's look at. Let's go to the channel. So you can check this out. I think it was this one, 26. So let me copy a link to that. The reason I share that, not just for only self-promotion, but I learned a ton from her and her explaining the different areas, different components inside the cluster and how they work. And so it was very informative. So that's the main reason I share that. So without further ado, we will, again, that's a Mac shortcut. So apologize. Let's get a new VS Code instance spun up.
Rogue is saying that they're interested in WebAssembly and they're just getting started with Rust, which that's really cool.
I got into Rust. Me. You got into Rust?
I got into Rust because I was also interested in WebAssembly. But that was...
is that really how it all started for you? The Rust stuff?
Kind of, yeah.
Really? I didn't know that.
I was
I thought you were like hardcore Rust person
no.
and then WebAssembly.
No, it's the other way around. I was doing lots of JavaScript. At some point in JavaScript, it's like you want to do systems things, so you got to drop lower. And I was like, well, do I learn C++ or Rust? And like Rust had a really good WebAssembly story, and I was like, that seems more promising. So pick that up, and then realized that it was less ready than I thought it was. So I started helping out building Rust.
How long ago was that? Bailey mentioned she started in 2012, 2013. Is that right? I mean, that's...
I don't know when she started. She did say when she started, but
I think it's 2012. I think, if my memory is correct. Go look through the transcripts. I guess I could, but
with WebAssembly,
yeah.
She was using Asm.js, which like predates WebAssembly even.
Let me sign in over here.
I started using WebAssembly 2017. First Rust program I wrote was maybe 2016, something like that.
Quit Teams. Do you think Steam Deck has macros for like shutting down everything?
Macros?
Yeah. So like, hey, I just started a stream. Don't rely on my faulty memory to close Teams in Outlook so I don't get notified. Just shut it down whenever I click live. That would be cool. I've also had an idea of creating a Raspberry Pi for a little green red light that detects when I'm on a Teams call or something for my family. So they're like,
oh,
yeah. I don't think it would stop the children, but maybe with some training.
I mean, if you're gonna assemble the light anyway, then maybe a little spray bottle you can attach. I don't know.
Looks like you and Rogue have some similarities in your story.
Yes. So
Awesome.
hey Kafka, welcome.
Okay, where was I? Yeah, spinning up the infrastructure. So we want to. No, it was set up right. Yeah. That was another tragedy. Is all my VS Code settings are now conflicting, switching between windows, even though it should translate. You know,
Mhm.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
it does not. So I don't know.
Yes.
Let's see. I deleted all these so we could start back over at the OG. So essentially, what I'm doing here is I'm just setting up the infrastructure.
Mhm.
Because the thing we're running into is not necessarily AKS related. It's in the WADM deployment.
Okay.
I wonder if it'll create the resource group, or did I create it? I did create the resource group. Okay.
Can you real quickly say what we're doing?
Oh yeah, yes. So if we walk through this, I'm just getting some variables set up for the Azure resource group to be created. So creating a
Mhm.
resource group of WASM Cloud RG. And then this is just starting a cluster for us, spinning up a one node cluster. Very simple deployment, no add-ons or extensions. And then I will connect to the cluster by getting the credentials. And then we can work through deploying WASM Cloud to the cluster. And
Okay.
that's all to kind of get us back to the point where we can use. Where did I must have closed it? Let's go. Where's GitHub? Get back to the point where we can deploy our WebAssembly component.
Okay.
Go to my issues.
While you do that, I'm gonna switch to cat cam. I have the cuddliest little cat.
Do you have multiple cats?
Yes.
Okay.
But I
Is that the only one that likes the top of your desk?
yeah, that's her hangout spot. The other cat is in my partner's office on their
Ah,
desk. So
okay. Well, that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. We both get a cat each. But right now my partner is at the home, so the other cat's feeling a little lonely and doesn't realize
Oh,
that I am keen on cuddles. I she's like, no,
I will
not
wait.
you. I'm like, okay.
This will take a couple minutes.
We have a bunch of like cat people have like moved into the neighborhood. I take them on walkies in the evening. Like we don't let them roam like free. There's too many cars and stuff, but they're
Mm-hmm.
also like very active, so they need to stretch their legs. And now we found a new cat yesterday who was
Okay.
like sitting in a house like in front of the window. And my other cat like just wasn't having it. She was like, "What are you doing? I live here. You don't live here. Go away!" Just like hissing and crying. And I was like, "Oh my god, just gotta wake up the neighbors."
That is funny.
Yeah.
A funny story for me is so I have he's like 8 months old now, but the best way to describe how he prefers to be held is if you've probably at least seen trailers of Mission Impossible movies
Yeah.
where he's always lowered into some place on a rope and
Yeah.
like swinging back. So that's
Uh-huh.
how he prefers to be held. And he's big. I think he's almost 22 pounds at 8 months.
Okay.
So my daughter, in comparison, she was not even 20 at a year old, like 20 pounds at a
Okay.
year old. So he's pretty big, but he's just always leaning back and forth. So I just call him Mission Impossible. So
How'd you find it out, by the way? That
fun of
that
which
that is the preferred position, and it feels like a funny
that's just how
position.
he always he's always trying to go somewhere. I think it's just because he can't crawl or walk yet, but he wants to
Ah,
be active and doing things.
I see.
And so he's always leaning and reaching for something or like trying to sprawl out somehow. He doesn't just let you cuddle him.
Mm.
Unless
It's
he's
so
really
funny.
tired. But yeah, it's interesting. Okay, so we have our cluster. Let's get the.
Okay.
So for everybody in chat, we always, as we wait, we share stories and side quests.
Yep. We're saying,
Async code base. Oh, async. There's another similarity.
oh yeah. I mean, if you're coming from JavaScript, like working with async code is that's just a given.
All right. Okay,
Oh,
so
that's cute. Rogue named her cat Clarity because the cat helps debug the difficult
oh,
problems and gives them
that's perfect.
clarity.
That
Oh,
is
that's really
perfect.
sweet. Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's next. We could do the single. Yeah, we could just do this. I remembered your trick.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like if I've contributed anything to your life going
that was it.
forward, that's not a bad one.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. Do we want to switch this to? Yes, we want to switch out this chart for our local one just because it has a different version,
Okay.
or at least the values of it. So this would be Wadham. If we look at it, it's really simple. This is just the values that are being passed into the Helm chart.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing here is that we're bumping the version because the tutorial links to something with an older version. That was one of Bailey's recommendations.
For people who might not be familiar with Helm, it's like a package manager for Kubernetes, kind of like a build tool,
Yeah,
kind
for
of.
deployments. Yeah. So do I? Oh, even better. I don't have to select the line. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so now we can do the operator, and that's fine. There's no changes in that. And then the host, we would want to do that one, I think. Yeah. So we'll do Wasm Cloud. Created. Okay, get pods. Okay.
Image pull back off.
Yep.
Wadham has 3 restarts actually.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Might have done one of those out of sync. So what if we do? Let's see if that'll change the image. Okay, it's cleaning up old resources, terminating.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. So their recommendation was just to deploy it as is. And I think it was deployment. Well, let's take a look. Here's a deployment.
Mm-hmm.
We'll use yours with latest. Well, I think we have to use the versioned one now because I didn't modify the
Yep.
config, which is fine.
That's fine. Oh, I meant to update that last week with Aaron, and then we just ran out of time. I think he had to like cancel, so I was like at like late my time, just like hello, hello, 20 minutes, goodbye, goodbye.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
There's this week. Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Is another question from Rogue. Is ML doable with Rust?
ML is in machine learning, I
I think
assume.
I think so.
Yeah. It's Edge AI and IoT, but I don't know if I can go full Rust on it. I can try and answer this
Yep, feel free.
to the best of my ability. So I haven't done any machine learning AI things myself, so I can't directly firsthand like speak to it. My understanding is that Python is sort of the de facto language there because it has all the bindings to the C++ libraries. So you will have probably the best experience there. However, my understanding is that Rust is being adopted. So you won't be like the first to try this, and there will be some support. Probably won't be as good as Python, but it might be passable. So doable, I think the answer is yes. As easy as Python, I think the answer is no. But depending on what you want and like how you evaluate those things, maybe that's good enough. But yeah, no first hand experience, so I can't like comment like in depth there beyond that. Okay, and answer done.
Field fetching OCI artifact reference.
Mm-hmm. Is that the provider is running on a host that does not provide a provider X key? Oh, that's warn info.
Failed to fetch. Failed to fetch OCI path.
Did Bailey? Can you check the URL real quick?
I
Make
did,
sure I have
yeah.
Bailey slides.
Still here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Well,
is it versioned?
latest is here. I don't see a tag for version 1. That could be an issue.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yep. So, since we got the same error no matter what,
Okay.
let's do this. What are we at for time? Okay, we've got enough time to do this and do the Helm chart. And while that's going, we'll create a new one. We'll delete. So okay, git pods. Should have documented the delete because I think there's 2 deployments. There was Helm uninstall WASM cloud, I believe. Helm list. What is it called? WAD.
I feel like
WASM cloud host. Okay.
You would really benefit from setting up a Adwin sync server.
I probably would
somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of felt a bit like a gimmick to me, where I was like, yeah, who really needs this? Who switches their machine like every other week? I who could you do.
you do. Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Keeps me on my toes. Surprisingly can like stay relatively productive with development. Just everything else is a little like the little niceties are harder to transfer.
Yeah. It really helps like the more of a stock experience you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. I think the next iteration for me for stock would be trimming up my VS Code.
Oh, you still have like all the config in there?
Yeah. Some of it is I've gotten too used to with Vim. But a lot of the extra stuff that I don't need, and it just makes things harder.
Like the only things I'm dependent on are the Vim plugin and the Rust Analyzer plugin, and that's all I need. That's all I need to work.
I mean, that's an ideal setup in my mind. Just 2 things, 2 extensions, and you're good.
Yeah.
Looking for what was it? Oops.
Oh my god, I ran out of
There we go.
espresso water this morning, so I couldn't like make myself a espresso.
That's terrible.
That's the entire thought. I had different coffees, but yeah.
Okay. That's still running. What could this be attached to at a higher level? Okay. Helm list. No Helm charts. Okay, get deployments. So why won't this delete?
Oh, do you still have the controller? The replica set?
The replica set should be a part of the deployment. So the
Okay.
deployments are at a higher level. So if we delete
Oh.
deployment, it should delete replica set.
Isn't it potentially the case that it doesn't that the chart doesn't register the resource or something with Helm?
Well, this one, since we deployed it individually, the things that were deployed with Helm were the WADM, and this is just this was deployed with the manifest. So this right here. So if you look at this configuration, oh, I guess magnifying glass would work, but this WASM cloud. Maybe that's it. Because they use a special, isn't it like application or something? WASM cloud host config kind. So let's go get. There's one of those. So what if we
Was it 1.1 something?
1.1?
Yeah.
That latest would be, yeah.
Okay.
WASM cloud host config. I bet that was it. There we go. Now we're all cleaned up. And we have a new cluster. So that'll be plan B. So if we go back to setup, let's just try the Helm chart because that'll allow us to do the latest tag. And it will take the latest versions of everything. So that'll be good. And this we had to run twice to get the host to install. Interesting. Well, I guess we can read the errors. Unable to install cluster role and names. Oh, it exists. Okay, so we need to remove the operator as well. So that would have been this one. Change this to delete. Okay. Maybe. Sorry for the jumping back and forth. I know it's probably a little confusing. So I'm going to just switch to the new host 1 or 2.
Okay.
Just so it's clean install.
Yes.
And that error is expected. I think host cloud default, no matches. That's fine. Interesting. I'm sure the CRD is created first.
CRD, what does that mean again?
A custom resource definition. Oh, that's right. So we had to do like that. Because this will deploy the CRD. Hopefully. Okay, and now we can modify it. To allow the latest and deploy the host. Yes.
Shouldn't we copy paste that twice?
We could. So
Because
it'd
it
be
would be
it
nice
actually
if we could
got
like
this.
copy paste the script top to bottom, or like like just
Yeah.
actually execute it. Like works.
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is that. Oh, I'll delete. Let's just copy this. Paste it down here. Delete, delete, delete.
Yeah.
There. There you go.
Yay. Great.
Let's see all the pods. Oh man, we just cannot catch a break with this deployment.
No.
We might just have to come back to it. How frustrating. Man.
Okay, we've got 15 minutes left.
What if we just do, let's see here, WASM Cloud. Do I have kind? No.
Alternative proposal, right? I'm doing kind stuff. Do you think we can update the GitHub action in 15 minutes, or at least like talk through about how to do that?
Well, what's interesting is I can't even get it deployed, WASM Cloud deployed without, not even with these settings. You know, like, so we tried to go step by step and it was still, I guess we did going through the old way individually. We got the cluster working. It just didn't support the other one, but we could switch and try to get a versioned package published. That would
That's
work.
what I'm thinking.
Okay. Let's see if we can get that. So that would be GitHub, Rust. No, I'm not the owner. Rust. Leslie, hello. Okay, so you want to look at the GitHub actions and potentially publish. Okay.
So if you go to scripts.
Okay, we have scripts.
Then publish. Then you see on line 14, latest, hard-coded. Now, the trick here will be, or what we'd like to do, is we'd like to make that configurable somehow. And I am not familiar enough with GitHub Actions to explain how to do that, but I kind of know what I want. Ideally, what I want, and I don't know how feasible this is whenever we cut a release, there would be a button to be like, we're going to cut a release, then it creates a release, and then it creates a publish tied to that release. It says, here's the OCI artifact that relates back to this release.
I think the easy way to do that would be to pass in an argument with a GitHub action variable here. So there's a lot of ways that you could, there's many ways you could do it. I think there's even GitHub actions that do some versioning for you. So with each run, it would increment the versioning, or we could just, a lot of times here at GitHub, they do this action container image tag variable. There's a SHA that they use. I'm trying to find it. Run your script. What do they got here? Where's tag? V star. There's a Docker meta action that does this. Make sure that you set up a push tag trigger along with what other triggers. The action. So here, publish Docker image.
Okay. I mean, what we're currently doing is we are creating the publish OCI artifact image, or publish WASM as OCI. I don't know what you call it. And what we need to have is from the BA an action like this that makes this trivial.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Where's the tag? Here we go. Steps meta output tags. Steps.
I think it's just the metadata. Just
meta. Here's the meta.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
And then the output of this extracts metadata tags labels for Docker. Okay.
Fascinating.
Okay, what would that takes dot? What is that? What would this generate? That's what I'm curious. So let's take a look at this action. That just take us to the same spot? Oh, I'd probably.
No.
Where did it go? Here we go. Extracts the tag. What tag is it extracting?
Tags right there. Further down.
Ah, you can define the pattern. Core input of the action is everything related to it reflects other metadata. This is one. This one is in the form of a key value pair and a CSV format to remove limitations. Intrinsically linked to GitHub Actions, only string format is handled in the input. I wonder if there's an example. Customizing. Ah. Here's Semver example.
Okay.
So tags v star. And then I'm assuming what it does is it looks at the previous one and then increments.
Does it increment? I think it just reads.
Huh.
What it will do, my understanding here is if you cut a release with a tag or if you push a git tag, it will create like this will trigger.
Uh-huh.
It says, hey, a new tag has been detected. This tag is Semver compatible. Here's what it was. That's all this thing does.
Gotcha.
That's actually perfect.
Okay.
Because then we can like refer to it and be like, hey, the way you cut a release is not by saying, please run a release. The way you cut a release is by pushing a tag. And that is perfect.
Okay.
Because then we can have a separate flow that says, okay, we're going to cut a release. And this release is Semver versioned. And then this will trigger this. And that is exactly what we want.
All right. So if we go back over here, I'm probably not. Guess I'm up to date. So if we go into
yeah, I'm not actively working on this. It's basically you yeah. Should be, but we're not.
I'll clean up all the rest of the stuff later. So if we want to go into probably just a workflow, right?
Yeah, so .github.
GitHub. There we go. Publish.
Yep. And then what we say is publish on push the branches. No, we want on tag.
Tags. Looking for an example. There we go. Like that.
Yeah.
Pull request. Don't need to worry about that.
And I guess we should keep the branches one.
So we can do something like this.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even think you need the quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's given. Okay, and then we need that meta action in here. Docker meta right here.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay. Well, actually, let's just do.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love this about Windows.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things. What? I won't go there. We don't have time.
Okay, we're both Microsoft employees, and I am on macOS usually, and this is the one thing that I do miss every single
the
day.
Windows Manager.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah, and that's not even the PowerToy setup. Have you ever tinkered with that? Yeah.
I know of it. Again, I haven't bothered because that's customization, and I just try not to.
Okay, checkout. So after checkout, so it could go here. Format it for me.
Oh my gosh, did you see the Windows script published by Microsoft to remove all of the default apps that you don't need if you have a development box?
I would love that.
Yeah, I didn't like bookmark the link, but it was good. I was like, oh shit, so someone gets it.
I'm fighting that right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. I believe it removes things like Bing services, Xbox Live,
Yeah,
Weather app, that kind
yeah.
of
There's
thing.
so many things.
Yes.
I do like it that all the drivers work though. That makes me
Oh,
happy.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we need what's the name of it? I think we've got it in the build. Publish. Wazzy hello. Probably be this, right? Yeah. Do we need the
Probably my first name / Waziolo.
okay. Well, that would work. We wouldn't want latest though. The Shaw, we wouldn't want Shaw. Because the tag's not listed. It would be this. So it'll take this is a variable that'll take the context of your repository, but we want is it username?
I assume so. Oh, GitHub.actor. Sorry.
Would that be it? And then don't we need slash
Yep.
Rust? That would be it.
I believe so.
Because then after that would become the tags. Okay. Oh, down to the wire. Okay, so for the Docker push, we need to use the steps metadata, which is what we just put in there, or meta.
Mhm.
And okay, so that's actually going to be here. So if we put that, and then we went to publish
all of them.
this.
Is that
Yeah,
the right one?
tags. Yep,
Okay.
that's what it says. And then we could do an argument here.
Yeah, I mean, just $1 is the one.
So tags
Equals.
No, I don't want that. Stuff in Copilot. $1, like that,
Yep.
and then
Quotes around it. Make sure
okay,
you always escape it.
like that.
Yep, correct.
Okay. Don't need curly braces or anything.
Nope. If for some reason there's a space in it and you don't have quotes around it, it's interpreted as 2 arguments.
Oh yes, I've run into that a lot.
Yeah.
So,
look at me. I know Bash.
Okay, so that should work. Maybe. I will see. But I've got a lot of stuff I've got to ignore. So we could just do git. Hold on. What was the file? Git status. Git add dot GitHub. Just don't use git add dot.
Yeah.
Dot GitHub.
Dot GitHub. And then
workflow,
scripts.
publish, scripts, publish. Like that? Yep.
Correct.
Oh, I don't know if I have permissions to it, but did not match any files.
What?
Oh, I need to add the .yaml.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on, there's something on my keyboard. There we go. Git commit -m mod add some meta tag action for versioning.
Sounds good.
What? Why do you take so long?
What?
Why can't I? Oh, passphrase. Okay. Okay. We'll see. Enable.
Funny.
Oh, you need to
Yeah,
add me to the repo. Then I can.
I haven't. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Doing it now.
Oh, I think we'll make it. I don't
Yeah.
think it'll work, but at least it'll be a step in the right direction.
Yes.
And then we can revisit. We've still got tomorrow when we can come back.
Yes, we do.
I'll get the cluster out by tomorrow. That's working and deployment works, so we can test the tag.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think
Okay.
I can at least get it started, built the old way, with the individual commands, and then that allows us to use the version. So we should be able to at least attempt a deployment tomorrow.
Ay. I'm also having keyword troubles, but this is expected and completely self-inflicted.
I wonder. It'd be really nice if WASM Cloud was just an add-on to AKS.
That would be nice.
Where you could just do AZ, AKS, whatever the add-on extension add WASM Cloud.
Mhm.
That would be sweet.
You've got an invite, by the way.
Okay. So
Yes.
let's find out. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
I mean, I'd settle for like a working
Helm chart.
Helm chart. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. No, that's not it. Where's my invite? No new notification. There it is.
Hey.
Okay. Okay. Actions. If that works in the first try, this will be the first ever modification to a CI pipeline that has worked on the first time ever in my career.
Yes. I mean, well, it'll be fun if it does.
Yeah.
And you'll have recorded evidence.
Ah, that's even better. It's not just hearsay.
Yeah. What's your CV? Just like, one YouTube link, singular.
This happened.
Timestamp. Yes.
And then demand to be hired. Twice the salary. That's on
the interviewer on the other side being like, "Ooh, impressive."
Most impressive. Oh, it'd be this. This is what it would look like.
Yes, exactly. All right. It's certainly doing things.
It's a Rust build, so it's going to take a while.
Compiling Darling Core. I don't know what that is. It's a Darling macro. Okay. What is being built? You ever like read your dependencies?
Rarely.
Okay.
Rarely. No, I do sometimes, but I'm like, what is this? So a lot of the stuff that I've built with Go, I deliberately stick with the standard library for a lot of things, and so that helps.
Can't do that in Rust.
Yeah. Although it makes it's been an adventure down the absence of my CS background.
Yeah.
By using the standard library, because you have to build your own stuff. Like when I had to build my own kind of like routing and stuff and figure out different things because it just didn't handle. It's limited, in the standard library, or like with the cryptography, it's super good in the standard library, but you have to build a lot of your own things, which I mean, it's the purpose for frameworks, right? So
yeah,
it makes sense. Right. But I got to learn a lot, so that's why I kept using it.
That is good. Yeah. With Rust, if you only use the standard library, you run into trouble like really quickly.
I learned that when I tried to parse JSON things. It's like, was it survey or something? Or survey?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll use this.
But then you use it and it's like, oh, it's actually kind of nice. Like,
it was really tough. Well, I didn't realize how much I got for free with the scripting language like PowerShell.
Oh yeah.
And so I would never use, because I was so like really good at it, I would never really use I would use some modules like the Active Directory, but a lot of stuff I would just code myself because I knew like I could use what's it, run basically creating run spaces, like threading all the
Mhm.
stuff myself if I wrote it, because a lot of times the authors of it wouldn't do that. And then I moved over to Go, and I was like, I could never have figured that out.
I believe we're at time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Let's
We've
see.
got a fun little cliffhanger here.
Yeah, it'll build. We'll see. So tomorrow we'll start just red or green. You'll have to.
Yeah.
Maybe we should start taking bets. I know which way I would bet, but yeah, we'll pick this up
And
tomorrow.
if
Yeah.
you'd like to, like don't actually gamble on this. The answer's public. The answer's public before the thing.
Oh, that's yeah, yeah. Don't
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
take bets. Yeah. So we'll go from there. We'll look at the pipeline, see if it can get some versioning. If not, we'll kind of pick that up tomorrow, and then I'll get the cluster going so we can deploy that. So that's where we'll pick up tomorrow.
sounds good.
All right.
Catch you then.
See ya.